Hello and welcome to Anime Territory, specifically the Christmas special, in that this is releasing right before Christmas. I am your host this week. My name is Johnny Ruhal, and I have got my co-host, as always, Benjamin, son of the right hand, Shabbing.
What is that from? Son of the right hand?
That's from your name. That's what it means in Hebrew.
Oh, yeah, you're right. I knew that.
So
I just figured it was going to be an anime reference.
Nope. I went with biblical name meaning because we're talking Christmas, baby.
I mean, kind of.
Yeah, no, this is the point I'm going to make. So we're talking Tokyo Godfathers, a movie by Satoshi Kon.
Correct.
And this is the anime Christmas movie. There's a lot of shows will have Christmas episodes, but this is
I
Christmas
cannot think
movie.
of another Christmas anime movie.
The only other one thing that we could find was a special called Itsudate My Santa, which we couldn't find streaming anywhere, but that was like 2 OVAs about Christmas. And was, I think, technically rated R because of light nudity. Which is just Japan. Like, that's...
The only anime Christmas thing I can think of is, like, that episode of Toradora.
Yeah. See, there'll be anime Christmas episodes, but there's not normally, like, an anime or a movie specifically based on Christmas, except for Tokyo Godfathers. And if you have other ones, please let us know.
Please.
By tweeting at us at anime_territory, because I will actually see that. I don't really look at the comments on the YouTube, because I don't think those exist.
I checked... Nah, there's not.
Okay. So, yeah, reply or, send us a tweet if there are other anime Christmas movies you want us to look. Or maybe next year we'll just, watch a bunch of Christmas episodes of anime.
Okay.
There's a My Hero Christmas episode in this latest season.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah. There's Toradora. There's lots of romance animes will have a Christmas episode because Christmas is a big, date night thing in Japan. Also, we always go and get KFC to feel like weebs at Christmas because that's a big Japanese tradition there. Okay. But Tokyo Godfathers. So we're going to do no spoilers right now. We'll get into the spoilers later. But what are your thoughts on... Did you like Tokyo Godfathers?
Yeah, this movie's great. It has a good blend of humor, has some drama in it, but it's just... It feels like a Christmas movie. It has that charm to it.
It's got drama, but it's also, I never felt like I felt... We watched a lot of Satoshi Kon movies.
It did not feel like his other movies, yes.
Yeah, it's like those movies were tense, and this one was tense things happen, but then you're like, I know what this movie is about. They're not going to do this. So, just general premise of this movie. 3 homeless people.
It's 3 men and a baby. But Christmas and homeless.
And one of the men is actually a trans woman who used to be a professional drag queen. And then one of the men is a teenage girl and is not a man.
Yes.
It's just straight up a teenage girl. But they are homeless people. They find a baby abandoned in the trash.
On Christmas Eve.
And the trans woman, I don't have any of their names written down.
Oh, sorry. Her name is Hana.
Hana has always wanted a baby, so she's like, it's a gift from God for Christmas. I prayed for this. So she doesn't want to go turn in the baby to the authorities. And then eventually, just because I think she grew up in foster homes and it's just not a...
That's what you get the...
Yeah. She did not have a good experience with that, which unfortunately a lot of foster families are good. I know some good foster families, but not all of them are. So she's like, I don't want this. I want this child to be loved, because this child is obviously loved by God because she was saved. A baby in the trash when it's snowing on Christmas is not a.
It's not an ideal situation.
Not an ideal situation for a baby.
For a baby.
Yeah. For anyone.
For anyone in that case.
But specifically a baby is a lot more helpless than if you were thrown in the trash on Christmas Eve.
Sure.
So, and then it's just them taking care of this baby, and they're trying to find her real mom and dad to demand that they give an answer for why they would give up a baby.
Yeah,
and if that answer satisfies them, then they will give the baby up. But if it doesn't, they're gonna, keep the baby or force them to take the baby back or whatever. Like,
it's basically just either give the baby back or ask them why they gave up on it.
Yeah. So if they can give a valid reason, then they will give the baby over to the authorities. If they can't give a valid reason, then they're going to either guilt them into taking care of the baby properly, or
just guilt them and being like, you guys are awful people.
Yeah. Or keep the baby for themselves.
They were going to keep the baby.
No. But there were times when you thought one of them would be like, yeah, she's down to keeping the baby. But that's general premise. I haven't really given my thoughts on this yet. I love this movie too. It is most certainly a Christmas movie.
Yes.
Because it's very much the themes, I don't know if I want to get into this, so we're going to get a little bit of a break. Okay. So, I may cut this part.
Okay.
When people say that, like, Jesus is the reason for the season, they're not necessarily wrong, but that's not necessarily the point of Christmas. Because Jesus doesn't want you to celebrate his birthday. Jesus wants you to be kind to others and remember what it is to be a good person and try to be that. The whole, like, giving gifts is just like, here is something that, it hurts me to give you this. Either hurts my wallet or takes my time away or something, but it helps envision your life. So this movie is very much about that spirit of Christmas and that, helping others and being there and being together. That is, those are some of the themes that this tackles that I think are the real, like, magic and spirit of Christmas. And you're worshiping Jesus is great. It's fine. If you don't do it, that's also great and fine. But the real reason for it, the reason he would want you to have, is that, we should remember that we're all people together and we're all in this together. I wrote down, we're all people, we're all connected, we mess up and try to do better. The worst side of us comes out whenever we give up on ourselves and give up on others. But the best side of us comes out whenever we, believe in ourselves and believe in the goodness of others. So that sense that if that's what Christmas is about, which is, I think, what Jesus would want us it to be about, because it's not about giving Jesus a birthday cake. He doesn't want that.
It's a birthday cake. I don't get birthday cakes.
Jesus is not going to say no to a birthday cake, especially if you made it with love. But he's going to rather that you helped out somebody or love someone than devote, pray to him 24 hours a day on Christmas. So that's my thought. If I cut that, I don't know. We'll talk about that later. But
I think this movie's about family.
Okay. I have some notes written about family as well.
Yeah, it's essentially that old proverb of family isn't necessarily who the family you're born with, but who you make your family.
Yeah. So my more like points is that we see a lot of different families with a lot of different upbringings, and we see love in some form or the other in all of them, and we see problems of some form or the other in all of them. Like there's a rich Yakuza family at one point, and you can tell that the dad does care about his daughter, even if he doesn't like
who she chose to
marry. But like, after his encounter with our four heroes, the baby counts as a hero. The baby is a hero.
Okay.
There's something going on with that baby. We'll talk about that when we're talking spoilers.
Yeah. I would adapt.
But like, you can tell even though they're well off, they've got problems in that the attempted groom tried to be assassinated.
They have people trying to kill them.
And that's even though they're wealthy and they've got good things going for them, bad things, and there's a little bit of he might not have been the best father type of thing because he's too busy being a Yakuza boss. Like,
the guy was a Yakuza boss?
Yeah.
What?
Yeah. But yeah, no, it's just like, so that's one family we see. We see another family that is, very poor, and we see, but they're the assassin from the previous thing. We get to see their family.
We're getting into spoilers.
Yeah. I'm trying to keep it a little light, but we see different families in different situations. We can see, rich, poor, somewhere in between. They all have
all these families have
and
issues.
They all have love between them, and sometimes that love is strained, but they are better people when they are, working towards that love as opposed to, throwing it away.
It's about the dynamic struggles that families can go through and how to work out / fix them / just being open about them.
And I've got more to say, but I think we should really get into spoilers before I say too much more.
This movie's great. Go watch it. It's fun.
Yeah, it's great. Satoshi Kon has not made a bad movie.
No.
He's not made a bad anything of his that I've seen. You have something to say about that?
No, I was just saying he never will.
Yeah, it's true. R.I.P. Satoshi Kon. We love you.
Sad that he's passed.
It was only a couple years ago, though, wasn't it?
No, it's been a while.
I think like Paprika was like...
It was like 10 years ago, yeah.
Right? So...
No, I think Paprika's a little older than you think.
Okay. It's just, it looks so new, maybe, on that nice...
Pretty sure it said he died in 2010.
Okay. But,
I think Paprika came out in 07.
Okay. Yeah, then it is older than I think it is, but... I don't know. I'm older than I think I am some days, too. So it's like, 27? This is weird. This doesn't seem right. Surely the math is wrong. I'm still a kid.
I'm just a kid.
I'm not where my brother was at when he was 27.
No, not at all.
Your brother's not 27 yet, Ben. You can't say that.
That's true, but he's going to be better than me. I already know it.
Okay. So, now we're getting into spoilers. This is your time because you got the notes for what actually happened. Whereas I just write down things that I feel are important to talk about. Okay.
Well, that's what I did this time. So we're going to try this new format out.
Okay.
So, first of all, we have your 4 main characters. You have Jin, a middle-aged, alcoholic, homeless man. Do you just want to go into, like, their backstories already? Or do you want to...
Sure. We're in full spoilers. Sure. Yeah.
Okay. So, Jin is a middle-aged alcoholic. He claimed to have been a famous bicycle racer.
He claimed to have been a bicycle racer. I don't know if he claimed that he was ever, like, famous. But, like, he said he, like, was winning some things.
Yes.
Or, like, but, like...
Anyways, he claims
How many bicycle racers can you name? I can name one.
Lance Armstrong.
Yeah, that's the one I've got.
There's a guy whose last name is Landis, I think. But I don't know his first name.
Okay. So, yeah. He was a bicycle racer. So, he might have won and had some sponsorships. But unless you're in that field, you wouldn't really be able to fact-check that much.
Also, spoiler alert, he wasn't a bicycle racer.
No, he was not.
Anyways, he claims he was a bicycle racer and that his wife he was married, they had a child, but the child was really sick. So in order to try to make some money to help with the costs, he tried to like throw a race, but it went badly, and then his daughter died and his wife died as well. We learned that that was a flat out lie, that he was just a gambler, lost all of his money, and then instead of facing the consequences, he ran off on his wife and daughter and became homeless.
And they are not dead.
They are not dead.
As we learn later. We'll talk about that a little later.
Yeah, we'll go over that later. But that's Jin. Hana is a transgendered woman. We believe she was raised in a foster home and then kind of worked at this bar. I'm just gonna call it a bar.
She worked as a drag queen in a bar in that scene. Because we get to see that bar at some point. And...
But she's really close to the... she called her mom. I thought that's not her actual mom, though. I thought she
no, I don't think that's her actual mom.
Okay.
No, I think that was something
you
call the owner of the establishment.
Yeah. Anyways.
I know some people that... or I know a drag queen. I could ask them.
Cool.
If that's something that's common, if you call the owner of the establishment mom.
Okay.
But I think they only do
that's
it
something that just went over my head. I'm like, oh, that's her mom.
No. I think that's just a term of endearment.
Anyways, we learn that she basically quit / ran away from that job after like pissing off a wealthy patron of that bar.
Oh yeah, yeah. She like threw a glass at him or something.
Yeah, like spilled a glass or like hit him or something.
Because he called her Pops.
Yeah.
And this is the second time.
I can take shitty, but not Pops or something.
Yeah. It's like, I can take being called shit, but not being called Pops. Fuck you, get my pronouns right, you son of a bitch.
And then she ends up homeless again.
Yep.
And then she and Jen are pretty close. They've probably been together.
Oh, yeah. It's explicitly stated that she loves Jen. I think Jen is... I don't know if love is the right word, but love, but I think in not a romantic sense. Yes. I think he cares for her.
As in like a friendship.
Yeah.
But, yep, that's Hana. And then Miyuki is a teenage runaway. We learn that she ran away from home after stabbing her police dad. Yeah. After like a dispute about her cat.
Yeah, her cat either disappeared or ran away, and I think she blamed her dad. Because I think the cat was a stray. Yeah. That they found, and then I guess there was probably some tension, like the dad never liked the cat, and then when the cat disappeared, she assumed the worst, stabbed him, and then has been living on the street for like 6 months.
Yes.
And it was kind of taken in by Jin and Hana. And they fight all the time, but we kind of learn from other people that like, people was like, no, you're Jin's spoiled princess. Like, but like, you know, Shiken's is like, he doesn't spoil me, we're always arguing, but like, you kind of see that that's Jin working in the background, but not being able to express, you know, those feelings.
Yeah. They're a family. Yeah. And then you have Kyoko, who's the baby.
I would pronounce that Kyoko.
That's what I said.
I don't know. The way you said it sounded
I might have said it wrong. Kyoko. I might have said Kyoko. It's a little different.
Yeah. I think you need to spend less time on the key, emphasize that less, and just go like kind of breeze past it. Kyoko. Anyway, that name is a reoccurring theme.
So apparently, the name translate for the Japanese like saying of Silent Night, which means pure child.
Pure child. Okay. Which is why I gave you the nickname Benjamin, son of the right hand shabbing. If you want to know what my name means, I believe Jonathan means gift from God, which explains a lot. About me. I am a gift to humanity from God.
I almost cursed.
We're not... This is a Christmas episode. We're trying not to curse. But will we?
What about
who knows?
More like
I probably already did.
Big stinky poopy face.
We said shit earlier or crap or something when we were talking about what the character actually says. Like, shit.
Yeah.
We already broke it.
That was our one. We get one.
Well, now we've said it a couple of times.
Well, we were explaining. It doesn't count.
Yeah, but I think I also said, get my pronouns right, damn it.
Oh, yeah. See, you effed it up.
Yeah. All right, can't show this one to our moms either.
Dang it. So close. One of these days.
One of these days. They won't listen to it when we say, this is one you can listen to.
But yeah, Kyoko's just a baby.
Well, is she just a baby?
Who's blessed by God?
There are some weird ass things that happen around that baby.
It's a running bit that like that baby's blessed, or like the gods look down on this baby.
Well, so we should note that it's a running bit or a running theme, more likely, in Satoshi Kon movies, that reality and fantasy are very hard to tell apart. So like in Perfect Blue, there's a lot of, am I going insane or is this real?
Yes.
In Millennium Actress, there's a lot of unreliable narrator. How much of this is her telling about her actual life, and how much of it is her telling about the movies that she starred in? Because there's no like clean break between them. Paprika is similar, but this time it's when am I dreaming and when am I awake, and I'm like partially dreaming while I'm awake, and there's this blend. Paranoia Agent has a lot of that too. Okay. Of just there's the Paranoia Agent is more like
this one isn't
groupthink.
Yeah.
What people enough people think of something, then it becomes real, sort of thing. There's a lot of that. Anyway, it's a running theme. This is the one that is least like this of all of Satoshi Kon's works. This one is pretty much everything should be played straight, but there are fantastical things that happen, and you just gotta kind of think, is that...
I think somebody that's explained as like miraculous coincidences, stuff like that. Yes. Where everything is pretty much realistic, but there are a little bit of fantastical
it's like,
moments.
This could happen, but damn, enough. Those things keep happening.
Yeah.
Like when they need to find, what is it? It's not powder, formula. They find baby formula was offered up as a, like, they're just like
in a cemetery.
They're scrounging in a cemetery for offerings to steal from graves to survive, and they find an offering that is baby formula. Like, okay, it could happen, but that's a little weird that we found it right when we need it. They exit a convenience store. Everyone in the convenience store exits it right before an ambulance crashes into it. Hana falls off a building towards the end. Yeah, and is able to grab onto like a banner, and then as that banner is falling, like a gust of wind pops up and then catches them. So where they slowly fall down. Yeah. And I mean, the only thing that I think was like, truly, this is not real, this has to be fantasy going on here. So I think at one point the baby speaks. Yes. At the end, I think. Which that might be like somebody like imagining it to like bring them to their, like, it's that is the one part that's like, that baby wouldn't speak in real life. That baby is like 2 weeks old at most. No, that baby's a couple days old. Unless it's a magical baby. It's a magical baby. Look, the most magical baby we've had, if you believe in the Bible, is Jesus. And even the Bible says that Jesus grew in knowledge and understanding. Meaning that when he was a baby, he shat his pants. Yeah. He didn't know he was Jesus when he was a baby. It's like, where was that from? Oh, it was probably from that episode we just listened to. But it's like, like Jesus was a human. He pooped and peed and did all that stuff. Oh, yeah, when we listened to Blank Check when they're talking about Benedetta. It's like, he grew. As he grew, he came to understand his place. So as a baby. He was a baby. Yeah. So even then, even the most magical baby that could theoretically exist in the real world didn't speak as a baby. I was just trying to counterpoint, but I can't think of any other babies. Boss Baby? Boss Baby, there we go. I think Boss Baby is like technically like old though. I think they just stay baby form. I don't know. I haven't seen the movie. You don't need to see the Boss Baby movie. That's true. All right. I listened to it once, and that was enough for me. Why did you listen to it? I was playing Magic at my brother's house in the kitchen, and they have an open room to the living room, and they were watching Boss Baby. So gotcha. That's how I listened to it and caught a few scenes here and there. But the sequel just came out, or is coming out. That's fine. Okay. So those are your four main characters. Yes. Jen, Hana, Miyuki, and Kyoko. Yep. So we start. They find Kyoko in the garbage on Christmas Eve. They decide to take care of the baby that night. Kind of like Hana's like, we'll take them in the morning. And just give me this night. Because this is what I always dreamed of. Yeah. It's like a Christmas present for me. Well, and I just want to note real quick, that before this, she was trying to get extra food from the like a soup kitchen. Yeah, worker. From the soup kitchen, by saying that she was eating for two, and she was praying to become pregnant. And then later, somebody that was there that overheard her say that, and they see a baby, they're like, "Oh my god! God, it happened! A miracle happened." Okay, sorry. They find the baby in the trash crying as they're like scrounging around. Take care of the baby. The next day, they decide to try to find the baby's parents. Yep. The baby had a key with her, and then they find out some. Yeah, the key goes. The key had like a number on it. It was a key for like a storage locker. Yeah. So they're able to pull like a bunch of photos and other stuff that was in that storage locker. Yeah. So they start off. They get on a train. Then they get off the train because pretty sure it's Kyoko sees her dead on the other train. Yeah, the train is stopped because of the snowfall and stuff. And then there's another train right next to it that stops. And she's that old trope of seeing people on the other side of the train. Yeah.
I don't know if it's true, but it happened in Your Name.
Yeah, I was thinking of that scene too. Yeah, no. I think it happens in other things. But yeah, no, she sees her dad. Her dad recognizes her, and she's like, gotta get off this train. So they like open up a window and jump out of the train. So
that happens. Then they go to the cemetery. That's where they find the miraculous baby formula.
Yep.
And on the way back, they run into a guy stuck underneath a car.
Yes. So he had like forgot to put the car in a
park or something.
Park. Somebody like came running up and bumped into the car, and it started moving, and he like could catch it, but he couldn't. He was trapped underneath it. So they help push the car off of him, and he's like, "I'm in your debt. I'm a rich mafia boss.
Come to my daughter's wedding."
They're just
like a godfather.
I think he was more like, here's some money. You call on me if you need something. I'm in your debt or whatever.
Well, they went to the wedding though.
Yeah. Well, yeah, but they're just like, well, actually, can you? We've got somewhere we need to go. Can you give us a ride? And then I think for whatever reason he decides to bring them to the wedding there too.
Well, he has to go to the wedding.
Yeah. So they're there, and then Jin sees the groom to be, and it's like, that motherfucker is the reason we were already cursed. That guy is the reason.
He ruined my life.
He ruined my life.
I'm going to kick his ass.
He's going to go up there and kick his ass. Before he can do that, a waitress pulls a gun and tries to shoot the guy. And then he's like, oh my God, are you okay? Like, he instantly changes, like, he's like, he didn't want the guy to be dead, even though it supposedly ruined his life. He didn't want him to be dead. And then the waitress takes Miyuki and the baby hostage.
The baby, yeah. Because she had the baby with her.
Yeah, Miyuki had the baby with her. Hostage. So then we learned it's not a waitress. It was a waiter disguised as a woman.
Great.
In order to...
Assuming it's some sort of mafia war or turf war,
some sort
stuff
of
like
turf
that.
war thing. But she has to go with him in order to stay alive and not get shot. And then they can't really like
communicate because he speaks Spanish.
Yeah, he speaks Spanish. She speaks Japanese. But like they come to an understanding that like the baby needs milk.
Yeah.
So
leche.
Yeah. You're the reason we knew that because we didn't get any Spanish subtitles.
No Spanish subtitles, so we didn't know.
But you're inkling the little bit of Spanish left in your brain from high school. It's
remembers.
Like, I recognize that word. That's milk.
Leche means milk. They need milk.
So, and then we meet his wife, and they have a young baby, and then we, she's able to breastfeed both babies there, and they're like reminiscing as much as you can without speaking each other's languages and showing pictures. And
they talk about their dads, and then this is where you learn a lot about Miyuki.
Yeah, she has a picture of her and the cat, and that we learn about the strained relationship with her dad and all that. But like these are the two of the families that I mentioned earlier. So like we get to see the rich family and we get to see the poor family. Now, it's something I want to bring up. The daughter of the mafia boss, her name is also Kyoko.
Okay.
And when that happened, I perked up because I'm like, are we going to see like people that Kyoko could potentially become in the future, and it's all going to be like a little like this is the life. This is one of the lives she could have, and this is.
We've
one
been
of the lives
watching
she
too much
could
time
have.
travel stuff.
Yeah, I know, but I'm like, because that name comes up again later, which we'll get.
It's also probably a fairly common name.
Yeah, probably, but that'd
be like running into another bin. You're like, oh, another bin.
Yeah, there's so many bins, so many dang bins. Okay, but I
didn't catch that one. I got the other one. Yeah.
But it's like, okay, her name is Kyoko too. And I'm just like, are they going to do this? Like, are we going to see...
The baby's Kyoko 1. She's Kyoko 2.
Yeah. Like, are we going to see, like, different... Are we going to explore things? Is this going to be like some sort of, like, Night is Short, Walk On Girl, where it's like, all these weird things that like time is weird, and this one night we're going to experience a bunch of things that could be
almost a little like Christmas Carol, where it's like, this is what the future could be, or like what it will be.
Yeah. But like, I was just like, are they going to do this? And they don't, but I think there's a little hint of that in there, that we get to see all these different situations. Like, we don't know what this baby's future is going to be. It's a blank slate, basically. Mm-hmm. But like, look at all these different things it could be, and the glamour that comes with this, but the problems that come with it too, or the love that comes with the poorer family, but obviously the struggles of living in a bad neighborhood.
We see the pros and cons of basically a lot of different family structures.
Yeah. Sorry, you go ahead and get us back on track here. But I thought it was interesting that.
But no, you're pretty much still on track. Miyuki goes to the Spanish family. Hana goes to look for those two, but Jin kind of breaks apart to do something else. I don't remember.
I think he's trying to hunt down Hana's trying to look for them. Jin's trying to look for the baby's family still.
Okay. So we cut to Jin's part here. Okay. And he runs into another homeless man who's dying. Kind of takes care for him.
Yeah, he's an old man, and
just old man's like, I see a lot of me and you, and then it's kind of heartfelt. And then what is it? Tries to close his eyes, and he's not dead yet.
Yeah. And he has another sip of liquor, and this is another thing where I thought, like, this happened right after we saw that other one. It's like, are we kind of seeing Jin's future now? Like, this possible. Is one thing that could be
kind of like a warning, almost. Be like, this is what it could be if you don't reconcile or whatever.
Yeah, if you don't mend your ways, you're gonna die on the street as this old man is dying
alone.
Yeah. And like, he gives him something, and I don't even know what he gives him. I tried to look it up, but he gives him something like, it'd be bad if they recognized me. I don't know if it was like money or something that was in a pouch. The old man gives Jin, so that they. Is that
where you got the 30,000 yen from, or whatever?
No,
because like that's the thing he like fights the like hooligans for. Is that
no? That money is stuff that he's been saving up for. Okay. For his daughter this whole time.
There was a lottery ticket. Because at the end, we have that little shot where it's like the winning lottery numbers is 111111. Very rare. And like at the end, like when they're like the very end in the hospital, you see the lottery ticket.
That was okay. I think
I don't know where he got that from, but that might have been it.
Okay. I think that's what, because I noticed that and I'm like, that whatever that is, I couldn't figure out what it was in that split second. Whatever that is, that's what the old man gave him. So
okay,
that
must have been it then. That's what we're saying. That was the lottery ticket.
Okay, and then
as soon as he dies, some hooligans come.
Yeah,
beats him up. Like it's cleaning day or whatever.
Some kids think it's fun to fight homeless people and think that they're
destroy all their stuff. Yeah.
And they can say, "Oh, we're cleaning up the streets." I don't think they actually. It's not. I don't think they believe that they were doing that. But that was their frat bro excuse for being assholes.
And like beat up the dead guy too, or like hit him a couple times.
Yeah. No, it's just come on, man. Homeless people are people. Didn't you?
That happens. They take Jin's 30,000 yens, which devastates him because he works so hard.
Yeah, but I think they throw it on the ground before.
No, he goes back. He goes back to get it from them. When you see him like almost dead on the corner in the alley, that's what happened. He went back to those guys to try to get it back.
Oh, I don't remember him going back to those guys. I remember
you don't see him do it again, but he like that happens, and he's like, I got to get that back, and then they cut to Hana and her getting those two back, and when he cut back to Jin, he's in the alley, nearly dead because he got his 30,000 yen back from those guys.
Oh, okay. I remember
that was
him
my
having
assumption.
It again. That part I must have missed. Like
they took that money from him.
Yeah, I thought they might have like thrown it, like that envelope, thrown it back without having opened it. Because at that point, they like eventually grow tired of it because they get a call saying like, the girls are at the bar drinking, let's go. Like, god dang assholes. I
thought that's what happened though.
You just beat up a man on Christmas.
To be fair, I think it might have been after Christmas. Because I think it ends on New Year's.
Yeah, I think it does too. Because they go to a temple at one point and usher in the new year. But they might have gotten to that like a couple days early or something too. But yeah, it's kind of like, I know we're not on Christmas Eve anymore, and I don't know if we're on Christmas Day at this point or what's going on.
Yeah. I don't know what day we're on. Anyways, that happens, and then we cut back to Hana. She finds Miyuki and Kyoko, and she decides to take her to her mother's place, which is
the bar she used to
work at. So they go there. She basically makes up with the mother. She's like, "No, it wasn't a big deal. Like, I was an asshole."
Yeah. Well, and she also left because she was like married to somebody for a while.
That's true.
And then, like, she wasn't homeless right after she left that place.
Correct.
She was living with this guy.
Which I didn't catch that at first. I thought they were talking about the mother's, like, husband. But no, it was Hana's.
Yeah. So she was married to him for a while, or living together. I don't know I don't know the rules for that in Japan, but they were married.
They were married? Okay.
I'm going to say they were married. Whether or not it was legal,
okay, who
cares? But, you know, and then her husband died, and then shortly after that,
slips in the shower on a bar of soap.
Is that what it was?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. And then it's just like a coincidental death. It wasn't anything like long and drawn out. No. It's just sudden.
Just accident.
Yeah. But yeah, no, they're there. And at that same time, it kind of, Jin, like you said, Jin is in an alley, like about to pass out. And then he sees a quote unquote an angel.
She's like, "What is your wish?" I think he's like, "I want to die," or something. I don't know what he says, but it's like,
do you want healing or my magic or something like that? And he's like, "Healing, please." And she's like, "Oh, okay." And then it's another girl who works at the bar there.
So they're all at the bar now.
So yeah, when Hannah walks in and it's just like, "Hey, it's Jin. He's already there." Yeah, so they're all there. They're able to get the baby like kind of taken care of with all the people there and warm, and
they get to sleep, clean their clothes, dry off, all that.
Yeah.
And then they head off to find the parents again.
Yep.
They get to the house that they see in the picture of the couple they have, and it's burnt down.
Yep. I think they stay in a building next to it. A construction
they got the
cats
next
to it. Mm-hmm. With all those cats in there.
They also like talk to the neighbors. They like give all the gossip on the family. So we learn.
There's just more and more neighbors get added, and they just keep gossiping about the family. And we learned that they were, she worked really hard, and he had gambling problems, and there was bruises on him sometimes. Mm-hmm. So like they'd fight every now and again. Like, and then she was pregnant, and then they moved away.
Yeah. And it was also,
did something.
She was in an awful situation. Like, her parents were on the side of the husband, even though the husband was a deadbeat, basically.
Yeah.
She had to get a job at the tower just to help with the gambling addiction, which all that stuff too.
Get a job at the what?
The club. She had to work. She worked at
that's right, because she had that's how they were. It's like, oh yeah, this person used to work.
Because we get her name from the groom's.
That's why they went to the wedding, because they had that card.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, and he's like, oh yeah, that's something that one of my associates runs. So they're there to like try to get that information.
Yeah,
that's why they're at the wedding. Okay. But no, so they were like, okay, so they're not here anymore. Don't remember what happens next. So your notes are going to have to take over.
Okay, I think after the house they go back. This is where they go to that like shop or whatever.
They're in a convenience store, and
they get kind of shooed away because they smell, I guess, because they're homeless.
Yeah, somebody complains, and then they're like, "Hey, somebody else might need to go," and they're like, "You can just say you don't want homeless people in here all the time. Like, we get it, and we know what we are."
As soon as they exit the building, an ambulance crashes into the building.
Yep, and the driver is like, "Please call an ambulance." Another one.
So also here, we should note that Miyuki tries to call her dad to like apologize, but she can't do it.
Yeah, she can't get any words to come out.
Mm-hmm. It's really sad.
Yeah.
And also, I think Hana passes out here after the...
Oh, yes. Yeah, okay.
Because they go to the hospital.
Yes, they go to a hospital to get...
Because Hana, like, passes out.
Yeah. At this point, like, Jin's not with them at one point. He might be helping the other guy get... Oh, he's talking to the doctor. He's talking to the doctor about Hana. And then a nurse comes out and is, like...
Talking to
Miyuki about the baby. Miyuki's like, oh, it's not my baby.
No, it's not.
And then they're like, her name is Kyoko. And the nurse is like, oh, that's my name, too.
Yeah.
Her name is my name, too. And we're like, okay, there's another Kyoko. It's another thing, another, like, possibility for her.
That one I caught. I caught her name being Kyoko.
Yeah. And then Jin comes on the scene, and the nurse instantly recognizes him.
Dad?
So it's like, oh, okay. So this is your daughter. And this is when we learn that Jin was lying about being a cyclist. And I think he had already told Hana in the convenience store that, like, his family is alive.
Yeah.
And he was a gambling addict. Like, so he's already told her that. And now we're seeing her, and she learns, like, okay, well, he wasn't a cyclist. He was they owned, like, a bike shop.
Yeah.
And they went into debt after that, after he left, and they were trying to run the store themselves.
Then Hana calls Jin, like, coward for, like, leaving.
Yeah. She's basically, like, playing the villain right now to be like, oh, you're a terrible person, you're...
How could you abandon your family? You had it, and then you let it go. I never had that, or stuff like that.
And then her and Miyuki leave in a huff, and Miyuki's like, you're a little harsh on him, right? Like, you already knew some of this stuff. And she's like, yeah, I know, but I was trying to intentionally be the villain. And she tells a Japanese folk tale about
the red devil and the blue devil.
Yeah. The one Oni wanted to befriend the villagers, and they wouldn't befriend him because he was, an Oni. And so, like, the other one's like, well, hey, I'll play a bad guy. I'll terrorize them, and you can come in and save them from me. And then, then they'll see you as a hero. Yeah. The downside to that is you can no longer hang out with your true friend because in order to keep the lie up, you have to then leave. We get, like, a heart-to-heart talk with Jin and Kyoko. He's like, I saved up this money for you. I know I'm worthless. You might have to take it from here. I'm getting a little foggy on the exact details of what they all talked about.
I think that's about it, honestly. I think she just gives him her number. Be like, here's my number.
I'm getting married to this doctor.
I'm getting married to the doctor.
He's like, he's good people.
But yeah, it ends up on good ground.
Yeah. So at this point, Hana and Miyuki find the mother.
They happen, again, coincidence, they find the mother. She's about to jump off a bridge.
And they stop her. And they're like, here's your baby.
Yeah.
Or it's like, why did you abandon the baby? And she's like, I didn't abandon it. My husband took it. And he abandoned it.
And I've been looking all over for her.
Yeah. Meanwhile, Jin finds the husband. And he goes and he's like, what the hell is wrong with you guys?
How could you abandon
you abandon your child like that? And he's like, that wasn't our child. My wife stole that child from the hospital. Like, she had a miscarriage. Or like a stillbirth or something. And she stole that healthy baby from the hospital. That is not our child.
I basically abandoned her.
Yeah.
So
it's like...
no responsibility for it.
Yeah. It's like, I'm doing good now, though. She's out of my life. He's living in a small apartment filled with trash.
He's a hikukomori.
Yeah. But it's just like, no, you need to, like...
You need to fix this.
Yeah. You don't abandon a goddamn baby, and you don't leave your wife when the going gets tough. Like,
which this makes sense.
Which now, whether or not they should stay together is a whole nother thing. Is that a thing? But like, you also don't just like abandon somebody when they're going crazy and stealing babies. You like,
and a very traumatic experience as well.
Yeah,
she lost a child.
Yeah, and a lot of this is your fault too. Whether or not you should be together is a completely separate distinction from whether or not you owe something to this person. To try to help them get better. Because I don't want to advocate for people staying together when they should not stay together. But I also don't want to advocate for just abandoning people.
This is your problem too. You need to help with this.
Yeah. At that point, somehow they meet back up. Jin.
Yeah, because Jin has to find the two because he knows the truth now. So he takes a bike and...
Oh yeah, he's like, we need to get the baby to the real parents. Yeah. So he steals somebody's bike.
Finds those two. Tell them what happened. They're like, oh, we got to find the baby.
Yeah, we just gave it to the mother. It's like, nope, no, you didn't.
Yeah, so they race to find the mother. There's a bunch of crying babies, so they're trying to find out which cry is theirs. They find her. Then the mother starts to run from them. They steal a car. There's a chase. There's a car chase.
Yeah.
They crash into a building. Then the mother climbs up to the roof of this very tall skyscraper building. Yuki catches up to him. And then there's the end, basically.
Yeah, so she's like, I'm going to jump and we're going to take life. Like, you don't want to do that. Like, that's not a thing to do. Mm-hmm. And then I think then the husband like calls up too, like, don't do it. Well, let's get back together. Let's work this out or whatever.
Yeah, I'm here for you.
Yeah. So then I think she's like, she wants...
Hey, let's have a fresh start.
Again? I didn't even say fresh start this time.
No, I had to do it though. I was going to do it earlier, but no, this one makes more sense.
Okay. So, you've got your other guy's quote out of the way.
Got it in.
Go watch The Other Guys if you want to get what the hell he just talked about. It's like our favorite movie. I think at this point she is like willing to like drop down or come down from the ledge, but I think she also falls at some point.
I got as more
somebody falls.
I think she was going to give it the baby, but she was still going to jump, but she slips, so she still has the baby with her or something.
Yeah. They catch her, but then they're not able to hold up. On. They fall too. Mm-hmm. They catch the banister, and then the miraculous burst of wind as the banister tears off.
It was the
baby at this is the point where the baby talks too, I think, where they're like, you have to give me back.
Basically. But also it's the fake mother like drops the baby accidentally as they're like hanging, and then Hana jumps to save the baby, and then she catches the banister, and that's when the wind comes.
That's when the wind comes. Yeah, because it's just Hana and the baby at the end there. So it's been a couple days since I've seen it. It's like the exact
we probably should have done this after watching it, but whatever.
Yeah, it was late.
Yeah.
Why didn't we do it the day after that? We were busy?
I think we were busy, technically.
What was I doing that Sunday? Oh, I went to the movies that Sunday morning, and then I had D&D after that. So, okay. Not important to this. But yeah, and then that's basically the end of the movie. The baby gets returned to the real parents because they like turn into the authorities.
We're in the hospital again.
Yep, they're in the hospital. They're like telling the police like, oh, we want to thank them, and the police are like, well, I'm going to warn you, they're homeless, and it's like we don't care. We want to make them the baby's godfathers.
Yeah.
Hence, title Tokyo Godfathers. They're in Tokyo. They're godfathers.
Mm-hmm. So apparently, what is it? The title is / maybe a little bit of the story is taken from like an old movie called like Three Godfathers. It's like a Western with John Wayne.
Huh.
Or it's like
I didn't know that.
3 bandits like take in a child from a dying mother. So it's kind of reminiscence of the movie. Okay. So
yeah, neat. I didn't know that.
I didn't know that either. Research, baby. Okay. It's called Three Godfathers. That's why it's called Tokyo Godfathers.
Yeah. So they're like, okay, well, I'll take you to the room in the hospital that they're in. Mm-hmm. And then they go in, and the police inspector is Miyuki's dad.
Yep.
And they're like,
Dad?
Huh. And then the movie ends. So you just kind of have to surmise what happens from there. Mm-hmm. But I like to think, my headcanon, they win the lottery. Oh no, the lottery ticket was something that the husband won. He won like $10,000. He's like, I'm already ahead in the game. I just won 10. My luck's turned around.
Yeah, but that wasn't the super jackpot though.
That wasn't the super. Okay.
I don't think so.
I thought it was. Whatever. We'll just have to rewatch Tokyo Godfathers and pay attention to the lottery
like the end.
lot.
The lottery ticket was like 1111111, which was what the winning numbers were. Yeah, I'm pretty sure Jin has it at the end.
Okay, so I like to surmise. Here's my headcanon.
Okay.
Miyuki moves back in with her parents. It's a little bit of a strained relationship, but they're
working on
work something out. Because it was also like they put an ad in the paper that says like the cat came back. Yeah. Like she's home. Please come home to us. Mm-hmm. So it's like, okay, the dad didn't have it euthanized. Mm-hmm. He might have still been responsible for it. Like he might have given it up to somebody or something, or who knows. But strained relationship there. Jin has a relationship with his daughter, but maybe not his wife. And then Hana, has her family at the bar, the club.
She goes back to the club.
Yeah,
does her singing.
But they remain friends because that's not something you just get over with.
Nah, they're a family.
Yeah, they're godfathers now.
Yeah,
and godmothers. They're godfather and godmothers.
Yes.
So, but
that's not what the movie is called.
Yeah, well, it might not translate gender-wise in Japanese either. That's true. Because it's more like sponsor or whatever, and the actual thing. But that's my headcanon. That's what happens. Okay. And the baby grows up to be loved and successful.
Baby grows up to be president of Japan. Sorry, prime minister.
Japan does not have a president.
I fixed it. No, Empress.
Empress of Japan.
She takes over. She
actually
Lelouch's it.
She's actually the second coming of Christ.
Oh, Jesus. Sorry, Kyoko.
Yeah. Okay. But we're at about 52 minutes. So that's the movie. This movie's great.
The movie is great.
What would you rate it? Because I think I'm going to give it a 9 or a 10.
It's a 9.
Okay.
It's a solid 9.
Yeah. Now, we mentioned before, we actually watched 3 Satoshi Kon movies this weekend.
We did.
Satoshi Kon only has 4 movies, and we have seen the 4th one a couple years ago, Millennium Actress. We haven't seen in a while. So, since we've already ranked all of our favorite animes, we thought, let's rank the Satoshi Kon movies.
There's 4 of them. We've watched them all. Let's go ahead and rank them.
Yep. So, what is your ranking for number 4? What's your 4th favorite Satoshi Kon movie?
My 4th favorite is Paprika. Okay.
My 4th favorite is probably Millennium Actress.
Okay.
So, I like Millennium Actress, don't get me wrong, but I feel like it's the least brave of his movies.
Okay. Okay, that makes sense. For me, Paprika was I don't want to say sloppiest, but it was the most disjointed, maybe, is the word.
Okay.
The ending kind of just throws me off. I don't know what was happening. I don't know how that happened.
A lot of it is dream logic, so there's a lot that you just kind of got to feel the mood for.
Which I wasn't feeling the mood for.
Yeah. Okay. What is your number 3 favorite Satoshi Kon? Now, I think I did favorite / best. Like, I put something higher than I think I normally would.
See, number 3 for me was Tokyo Godfathers.
Number 3 for me was Tokyo Godfathers.
I might like it more than Perfect Blue, but I think Perfect Blue is a better movie.
Exactly.
Yes.
So I'm like, I'm going to put my favorite up at the top. I'm going to put... Spoilers for my number 2. I'm going to put Perfect Blue at number 2.
So Paprika is your favorite.
I think I like Paprika the most. Now, I might be a little biased in that I was in the exact perfect mood for Paprika when I first watched it. Because my first viewing of Paprika was at a movie theater, which ultimately always that kicks it up a notch.
Yes.
And I was really tired. It was like a midnight screening, and I was tired when the movie started. So it's just, I was in that sort of I could doze off at any moment, and this is all about dreams and that line in between. And it was a phenomenal experience that I'm so glad I've had in my life. And that's why I'm putting Paprika at number 1.
Okay, so we know your list now, but our number 3, both our number 3s are Tokyo Godfathers.
Yeah.
Our number 2s are both Perfect Blue.
And then our numbers 1 and 4 are Switch. Of course they are. Okay. I saw as soon as you put Paprika last and I put Millennium Actress last, I'm like, that's what's going to happen.
Yeah. But Perfect Blue is a fantastic psycho drama.
Oh yeah, you gotta give props. That was his first movie too. Yeah. And it's just, I mean, it's basically, if you've never seen it, I think it's Black Swan draws a lot of parallels to it.
They say I think Black Swan has a lot of what do you call that? Inspiration.
Yeah, inspiration from it. It's just, and it's got there's this insanity angle, but there's also this angle of the industry is fucked up for actresses in Japan and stuff. It's a dirty industry no matter where you're at. Story of this it's a story of girl purity supposedly becoming corrupted
from an industry and then towing the line between what is real and what's
not. And there are a couple of people on the edge of sanity. What I love
is that the movie, the show they're shooting is kind of the same story as well, where it's just this person not blurring the line between
you can see that's what led to Millennium Actress. Yes. That blur of what we're rehearsing and what's going on in my life are matching up.
Is this part of the movie or is this part of or is this real life?
There's a point where you're just okay, wait a minute. Is the character that we've been following the character in this fictional movie, and the real person is this character in the fictional movie that we've been filming? Or which one is real and which one isn't? And it's I don't.
It's just
ultimately during that part, I'm I know they want me to be question my sanity, but I think at the end of the movie, it's no, that was just a part in the middle to make you really start thinking. Is this the twist? But we're talking too much of Perfect Blue.
Sorry,
this is a Tokyo Godfathers, but it's just
it's at the end. We're good. They can turn it off. We talked about Tokyo Godfathers.
Yeah.
Let me talk about Perfect Blue.
Yeah, because we're probably not going to cover Perfect Blue anytime soon.
I do not want to watch that movie for a while.
Yeah,
it messes you up.
Yeah, that movie's fucked up, and I love it.
It's great. Don't want to watch it again for a very long time, but it is a fantastic movie.
Yeah, so we got to give it props. I got to put it above Tokyo Godfathers, even though I'd rewatch Tokyo Godfathers on Christmas.
Yeah, that's the thing. I'd rewatch Tokyo Godfathers in a week or so.
Yeah. Well, we can't. I lent out my Blu-ray to somebody. Wow. She said she wanted to watch it. And I said, well, here you go.
That's fine. And then my number 1 is Millennium Actress.
Yeah.
This is a caveat, though, because I have not seen it in a while, so I don't know exactly.
Opinions might shift.
It might shift if I watch it again, but I just remember being completely enthralled by that movie when I first watched it. Just the storytelling, how he told that story was just amazing to me.
We should note Satoshi Kon has got a series, which I have seen, and I am dead set on thinking that you have seen Paranoia Agent.
Dead set on saying I have not.
And this is a classic, this is something that might show up in Paranoia Agent. This thing that we're...
I don't know why you don't believe me.
You think so strongly that you haven't seen it, and I think so strongly that you have seen it. And which one is the truth? It doesn't matter what the truth is if what people believe is different. Okay. But Paranoia Agent is great too. I've got that. You can watch Paranoia Agent anytime you want.
Okay.
Got it. And we watched one short film of his that was included on the Blu-ray for
Did he direct Paprika. That, or was that somebody else?
I think he directed that.
Okay.
But he's got, that was a 2-minute short. Mm-hmm. There's actual short 15, 20-minute films of his that we haven't seen yet. Mm-hmm.
These are his feature length.
Yeah, these are his feature length films. So there's more Satoshi Kon out there. I haven't exhausted my Satoshi Kon yet. One of these days I'll have seen it all, and then
sadly,
nothing left to see.
Sadly, it's a short filmography, but it's a damn good one.
Yeah. The only good thing about a short filmography is you can experience it all basically in a weekend.
Yeah.
So
there's no bad tastes in your mouth. Well, except for maybe Perfect Blue. That's a good.
Perfect Blue, yeah, it's not a bad taste. It's a scary taste.
I need to take a shower after this.
I feel defiled.
Yes.
Oh man.
Thanks, Perfect Blue number 1. I gotta rewatch Millennium Actress.
Yeah. But yep, that's our Satoshi Kon rankings. We've reached frag time now, even if unless I cut out that bit. But we've got another episode coming out in 2 weeks from the release of this one.
Mm-hmm.
So that episode is Odd Taxi. We're
Correct.
finally going to go back and watch Odd Taxi. We watched the first 3 episodes and said, this is really good. Let's keep watching this.
It just won IGN's Anime of the Year.
Okay.
And I think there's huge speculation that it might win Anime Award. Anime of the Year.
Well, that's because they're going to snub Sunny Boy.
Yeah, I know.
Like, of what I've seen of Odd Taxi, if it keeps up with what it is, it will be a very, very good show, but it will not be Sunny Boy.
Will not.
But Odd Taxi could drastically change what it is, too. But we're going to be watching that. Even though we watched the first 3 episodes, we're going to be rewatching those 3 episodes because it has been months.
A lot of months.
But that's coming out. That's going to be our first one for the new year.
Mm-hmm.
And then in the meantime, we're streaming on Twitch every now and again. Twitch.tv/TheMinuteGoku. If you want to know when we're streaming Twitch, good question. We typically try to stream the night before a new episode drops from like 10 to 12 Central Time, leading up to the drop of the episode. Mm-hmm. We will sometimes do streams other than that. Pay attention to our Twitter at @anime_territory for tweets. We'll tweet out normally like, hey, we're streaming tonight, or we're streaming right now, let's go. So that's a place where you can learn that. You can subscribe to us on YouTube if you want. I'm pretty bad about putting the Twitch streams on there, but I might do that this weekend or even like tomorrow or something. We're Anime Territory on YouTube. We're also Anime Territory wherever you get podcasts: Anchor, Apple Podcasts, Spotify, Google Podcasts, a few other places. Am I missing any plugs that we need to do?
Nope, I think we're good.
Alrighty. Well, you're leaving the Anime Territory.